man, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Thank you very much, James. To offer us training on culture of positive work ethics in offices and workplaces on pro bono basis. When I say pro bono basis, for those in the legal cycle, free of charge. For somebody to leave his work, to leave the comfort of his office, to come to a lonely place like ours, to train us on a very sensitive topic of this nature, we agree with me that we must have been motivated by strong passion and commitment to do that. I want us to give him a very warm and loud applause. Once again, you are welcome, sir. We quite appreciate your coming. Due to other pressing national assignments, and very big absent, I convey an apology. I also convey a warm wishes and greetings to you, sir. She has me to greet you, to appreciate you, and to tell you that this is not the beginning of greater collaboration. Having said that, I want to say I don't have a prepared speech here, but just a word of admonition, words of admonition for our trainees. Like I said, for the purpose of POF, let me say this, that the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIC, as you may be aware, is Nigeria's focal agency charged with the responsibility of combating TIP and other related crimes and uplifting the vulnerable, especially women and children. Also, for the purpose of your information, sir, the agency, which was created in 2003 by an Act of Parliament, has received various training from institutions of other law enforcement agencies, educational institutions, and from foreign partners to build the capacity of its manpower to effectively and efficiently deliver on its mandate. And by your coming today, you have added to the list of those partners that are willing to build the capacity of our officers. And for this, we are quite grateful. And to the officers that have been brought here today, like I told you, sir, we decided to limit the number because of other assignments in the headquarters that involve our officers, and also because of the conviction that those people that are here, we expect about 20 of us to be here. And some of us are inevitably absent for one reason or the other. But for those that are here, they are expected to go back and share the knowledge they are going to acquire today with their colleagues in their various departments and units. And having said that, I'd like to charge the participants, the trainees. You know, the topic that the prof is coming to give us today is not strange to you. As a culture of positive work ethics, you become between August 28th and 31st last year, 2017, we gathered all of you to give lectures from various directors on this same topic of building the culture of disappointment. I'm saying this in a generic form, not for you that are present here today, but for you to convey to other officers and headquarters, and of course, that those trainings that you have invited impacted positively and practically piece of truancy, absenteeism, loitering, hiding away, divulging vital of the official secrets, bribery and corruption, molestation of fellow colleagues, any form of molestation, delay in treatment of official file, gross official misconduct and responsibility by most officers. All these things are symptoms and indices of negative work ethics. And for an organization like ours, we cannot afford to fail. NAPTIC, first and foremost, is a humanitarian body. If you don't have passion for the job, if you are not committed to the cause, you cannot be done. And this is why all hands will be on deck. You agree with me that presently we are on tier 2 watches. And all eyes are on Nigeria to go back to the tier 1 that will likely be done in the US tier 8. So I want us to be alive to our responsibilities, to discharge our duties effectively and efficiently, so that we'll be able to assume our pride of place in the US Department of State rating on TIP. And not only that, in the committee of parastatals in Nigeria, it must be seen to stand out. I'm not to give talks of positive work ethics as official to do justice to that. But suffice it to say that I will try to listen attentively, to be armed with your pen and papers, to take down notes, and at the end of the day, you not only be the ear, as the Bible will say, of the words, but you also be the doers. You go back, put into practice what you have learned, and cascade or share the knowledge with your colleagues in the office, so that NAPTIC can move forward. I believe that this is a very positive step that we are taking today, and it will go a long way in engineering us, in ensuring that we are at our best when it comes to combating this kind of human trafficking in Nigeria. Once again, I'd like to thank you very, very much, sir, for coming. And I want to say that this is the beginning of a greater collaboration to come. There is a popular saying that if we are related, we shall meet again. In a post and long-lasting relationship to come. Once again, thank you very much.
Politicians in this country that the nation has never found any occasion against him. He has been a very transparent person, and also he has always identified with issue of global concern. And I'm sure that will form his interest in that. Let's give him another one. So talk to us, and we want to listen to you, sir. Let's start for this.
Inviting me to speak to you on the culture of positive work ethics, amongst others, and comments are that too for being so persistent, because my time is so choked in terms of speaking engagements, and this may be the 20th parastatal that I'm speaking to within the shortest possible time of about 8 months. Some I've done twice. Nimasa I've done twice in Lagos, in all expenses paid by me, because that's my commitment to this. For proper records, I've been in government. I left office 2009 as Director General, Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies. So I've been in government as a Director General at that level. Of course, also a parastatal under Ministry of Justice as you are. More importantly, I was there at the beginning. When Titi Atiku floated work left, which obviously translated to NAPTIC. I also participated one way or the other in putting up the bill that later ended up as an enactment, setting up NAPTIC. And then I was there when Mrs. Ndaguba was seconded from Ministry of Justice to become the first founding Director General. And we interfaced closely with her and helped to build up until she left office, and of course some of us continued in another capacity. So I've always engaged with NAPTIC. And last week I was at the IBA, International Bar Association Conference in Rome, and I was watching the television of how they were trying to monitor people trying to cross over from Libya with all the challenges and the boats that are obviously rubber boats likely to capsize at any point in time. And with some of the other senior advocates, with me, Chris Uche, amongst others, we were all saying, what is it that people are looking for here, one way or the other? Those who are trafficking people, whether it is from Benin, Edo State, or from anywhere, what are people looking for here? Anyway, that's secondary. All that is important is that we're here. And we have to discuss a topic that is obviously very, very dear to my heart. Two things I'll start with. One is for us to understand that those of us who are reasonably engaged in terms of public service in Nigeria must have every reason to be thankful to God. My research shows that, anyway, that's secondary. All that is important is that we're here and we have to discuss a topic that is obviously very, very dear to my heart. Two things I'll start with. One is for us to understand that those of us who are reasonably engaged in terms of public service in Nigeria must have every reason to be thankful to God. My research shows that the public sector in Nigeria, and when I mean Nigeria, I'm not meaning federal, at the federal level, I mean all over the country. The public sector, we don't have more than 7 million people that are employed under public sector. And when you consider that we're almost 180 million people, you consider yourself particularly privileged and lucky that you are 7 million out of about 180 million people. That is every reason for us to be thankful to God. Secondly, is that our founding fathers seem to have done so much for us in preparing us for the journey ahead and laying the appropriate foundation for us to build upon. Consequently, whenever I come to an occasion of this nature, the tendency is for one to start with the national anthem. So I was happy when you started with the national anthem. But you see, the national anthem speaks to us in many ways than one, and in ways many of us may not bother to emphasize appropriately. And I want to ask, what word stands out? What single word stands out repeatedly in the national anthem? What word? Tell me. Yes? Anybody? In the context of which we are here, there's just one word that stands out. And that word is serve. How many times used in the anthem? And I want to ask, what word stands out? What single word stands out repeatedly in the national anthem? What word? Tell me. Yes? Anybody? In the context of which we are here, there's just one word that stands out. And that word is serve. How many times used in the anthem? How many times used in the anthem? So you see, you just recite the anthem. How many times? Of which we are here, there's just one word that stands out. And that word is serve. How many times used in the anthem? How many times used in the anthem? So you see, you just recite the anthem. How many times? 2 times. Where and where? To serve. Can we be confident enough to speak up? If you know something, you raise your hand and let me know. Because this is an interactive session. Yes? Fine. So we have 2. Invitation to service. And then, of course, the pledge. Can somebody recite the pledge?
I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength.
To serve Nigeria again, even in the pledge. Even in the pledge. So one common denominator in all that we do in the pledge, we are all invited to serve. So it shows that our founding fathers were passionately committed to the whole essence of service. To that extent, if you fail one way or the other in your approach to service, then something must be fundamentally wrong. I did not say that, again, added to this is the fact that you are the beneficiaries, the privileged few, out of 180 million that are here to work for government. Something crossed my mind during the introduction, and as a teacher, there are certain things I won't let fly. My name is. My name is. My name is. My names are not. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. My name is. My names are not. Totally wrong English for anybody to say my names are. So let us put that aside and then do the right thing. Whether you have 20 names, your name is. Well, constitutionally, we have to lay a foundation on which we can build. And usually I find expression in section 23 of the Constitution that talks about fundamental objectives and directive principles of state policy. And that section 23 provides that the national ethics shall be disciplined. National ethics shall be discipline, integrity, dignity of labor, social justice, and so on and so forth, religious tolerance, patriotism, and self-reliance. But you can draw so much. The basic one is ethics, the national ethics. Then it talks about discipline, integrity. Most of these are things that are needed for positive work, amongst others, patriotism. So when the director was reading out some of the things that you are not supposed to do, as far as work ethics is concerned, I just noted that ethics is a way of evaluating what is right or wrong, or good and bad. The moral ethics, the religious ethics, the work ethics, financial ethics, the ethics for judges, the code of ethics for lawyers, code of ethics for accountants, and so on and so forth. So ethics is a way of trying to draw a distinction between what is good and what is bad, and the standards for right and wrong, as the case may be. What are the basic characteristics for a good work ethics, or an ethics that is properly founded on the right principles and the right policy? Honesty is a very critical ingredient. Accountability, doing a good job, being part of a greater vision. And I stop. Being part of a greater vision. And I ask, and I want an answer. What is the vision statement of NAPTIC, if you know? What is the vision statement of NAPTIC? I'm not talking about your functions. What is the vision statement of NAPTIC? For every office, there should be a vision statement, and there should be a mission statement. Do you have one?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can somebody tell me? If not, I wonder how you pass through an interview to get into this place. And in my place of work, I cannot appoint you unless you understand from the word go the mission and vision. So can somebody tell me what your vision statement is? Yes? Director, what's going on here? At this level, you don't know what your vision statement, what are you working for? What is your vision statement? Yes, please.
It's the promotion and protection of the integrity and life of Nigerians.
Okay, and what is the mission statement?
The mission statement is protection and prevention of human trafficking using all these other apparatus and through synergy with other sister law enforcement agencies.
Fine. I accept that. At least coming from somebody who is in a position to know, but whether it has been so well captured is a totally different proposition. But I feel worried. Many people were just looking without sounding confident. It is one thing that you must have at your fingertips. The vision statement. Because I've talked about being part of a greater vision. How can you be part of a vision you know next to nothing about? If you don't know the vision of NAPTIC, then you cannot be part of that vision. You cannot key into that vision. Because it's very, very important that you know the vision of your organization in order for you to key into that vision. It's very, very important. For me, that is the cardinal aspect of work ethics. Understanding the vision of your organization and knowing how to key into it. How can you protect or promote the country against human trafficking if you don't understand the rudiments or the basis of the policy setting up NAPTIC? So that is very, very important. Anyway, I'm just looking at that within the context of being part of a greater vision. Then, of course, humility is very cardinal in terms of characteristics. Valuing what one does. You have to value what you do. My sister, I'm a very, very strict person when I'm in class. Very, very strict person. It gets to a stage, it's either you laugh out or I leave this place for you. Please, I beg you. I'm putting in 2 hours of my time. When I'm paid, when I sit at the Commonwealth Arbitral Tribunal in London and I'm representing Nigeria and Africa, I know how much I'm paid in hours. So I'm not here to waste my time. Please, I beg you. I'm a very serious-minded person. Stop laughing in my class. If you're not interested, you walk out, or I walk out for you. Hard work is very, very critical. BPE, NCC, just name them. The DG must be in attendance. I've sat on that chair, so there's no big deal about it. Because there are some aspects that we will discuss. That the DG obviously must be held accountable. Because you don't demand for work ethics from people when there are certain other issues like likely to motivate the people that can only come from management. And the head of management is not around to listen and listen attentively. Because it's a game of stick and carrot. You give and you take. So anywhere I speak, the DG must be in attendance or I don't come. This is the only place I'm speaking and the DG is not in attendance. Because I insist on that. Where do you make your demands to? Somebody must make demands. So the issue of punctuality is very important because I've just noticed that the best people that are disturbing my class are the people that came late. And when I teach anywhere in the world, once I'm in the class, nobody enters my class. And what still? Assuming you're a lawyer, if the court is sitting at 9 and you are coming in at 9:30, nobody is going to give you hearing. So, but discipline, like we say, section 23, discipline is key. We must not lose sight of that. Following process, because everybody here hears about due process. Due process. Dependability, you have to be dependable. Efficiency. Positive work habits. Initiative. Valuing what one does, I mentioned earlier, is very, very important. That's another way of talking about job satisfaction as classmates at the law school and at their master's level. Because of her father's position as an executive governor of this country at this point in time, she was given a job at Central Bank. Given a job at Central Bank, and she didn't last 3-4 months. She came to me and just said, "Uncle, I'm not finding job satisfaction here. I mean, CBN, we already have to." I said, "I must advise you, if it has gotten to that point, you just have to pull out. You have to pull out." And in a month, she was out of the place. She said she can either do something on her own that can motivate her than stay there and idle away. So valuing what you do is very, very important. Because there's nothing that motivates you better than doing what you like doing. Motivates you. internal motivation. But more importantly, apart from motivation, is the fact that you give your best to the organization when you value what you are doing. And the issue of initiative is also very important. We have a set of people who are robotic in many ways than one. Robotic in the sense that you have to go and check what is in the rule book. You have to do this, like somebody trying to cook soup. And you don't know that there could well be many ways of doing it. There's no standard practice that you must fry the meat first before you do this or you do that. There's no standard. You can still rejuggle it and still achieve the same result. It's the same thing. Initiative is your capacity to introduce new ideas, but for us, more importantly, it's your capacity to reason out of the box. You reason out of the box. So that when you are confronted in the course of your duty with a situation which you never rehearsed, which you never imagined will come up, which you have never been taught about or trained on, you need to reason out of the box. You have to be smart enough to know that this is the way to go about it. So that initiative for us, especially from those of us who have academic background, counts so much. Because the capacity to reason out of the ordinary. When I tell my students in many years ago when I started teaching 81. We are the founding lecturers at the University of Benin, 1981, almost 30-something years now. You can never make a first class by telling me what I told you in class. You can never make a first class by repeating what I have told you. So the difference between a first class and a 2-1 is that ability to go beyond the boundaries of what you have been taught in class, to add additional materials which possibly the lecturer never adverted his mind to. That makes you a first class material. But in many institutions, people are never told what is it that is required extra for you to become a first class material. It is not just by mere repetition. When you read a script of a first class material, you will know. The guy has gone to town, he has explored, he has researched, far away from what he was told in class. Are we in a position to add some of those things now? Again, I normally tell classes like this that work hard, yet. Yes, you have to work hard. But again, I know that in the course of discussing this with my daughter, she just finished her PhD at Warwick University in Law, and she started lecturing as assistant professor there. Anytime I said, I have a talk on work ethics, work hard, I said, Daddy, do people still work hard? Do people still work hard? And it will become another argument for about 20 minutes between us. I am the kind of person, I may not yield to an argument, but I don't overlook an argument. I reflect over it. Because it will tell me that Daddy, people don't work hard anymore. People work smart. People don't work hard anymore. People work smart. And for us, it's a matter of debate. Is there a distinction between working hard and working smart? Or do you work hard while still working smart? But I noticed that the arrowhead is result process. That if you work smart, maybe you achieve a result faster than the person working hard. And to that extent, there might be some force of argument or merit as regards the idea of working smart and not just working hard, because somebody can work hard in the wrong direction. Somebody can work smart within a limited time and still achieve